So it's lovely to speak with you today. I'd like to introduce Loretta, who is a fellow governor at South Central Ambulance Service, and myself, Helen Ramsay, who is also a public governor at South Central Ambulance Service. And I'd just like Loretta to talk a little bit about her role and her experience.
Well, thank you, Helen. I've been a governor for SCAS now for 6 years, so I'm just reaching the end of my second term. It's been an extremely interesting and varied experience. I think I had some knowledge of the NHS, but the only part I knew nothing about really was the ambulance service. So when an invitation to apply as a governor came through my parish council, I thought, why not? I will apply. Did it meet my expectations? In some ways, a lot more, perhaps in others, not so much. I'd had experience of being a governor of a school, and it doesn't quite carry the same responsibilities as being a governor at a school, but it does give you a wonderful insight into how things work in a modern ambulance service.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much. And we're looking for a new governor to come and join SCAS. So would you like to give any highlights about why would it be a good role to apply for?
Well, I think there are lots of benefits. Whatever role or way you've had in your life, new experiences are always extremely valuable. I think in a time where the NHS is struggling, anybody who can volunteer and help in any way is also really to be welcomed. There are two main roles, I would say. One is really looking at how the service functions in terms of the board, the non-executive directors, at the directors themselves. And we're there really to be critical friends. So at the various meetings we go to, board meetings, Council of Governors meetings, we're there to see that the non-executive directors are doing their job in challenging the directors. And we have a role in electing the non-executive directors as well as governors. And the other part of the role is going out, meeting the public, talking to the public, and telling them about the modern ambulance service, South Central Ambulance Service, which covers an enormous area of 7 million people. And finding out from the public and the members of the trust what their experiences are, what they want to happen, and it's being a mutual experience, feeding back and feeding to them. And that I found really enjoyable.
Oh, brilliant. I wondered if you could possibly talk about a couple of your highlights, maybe from the last 2 terms as a governor.
Well, I think one of the most involving, exciting things I've done is actually presenting one of two of the Health Matters public lectures, which we've done at hospitals and involving both our staff and hospital staff in talking to the public and hospital members and anybody who really wants to turn up. So being able to convey this information to a range of people has been very exciting. And obviously I've learned things from it as well. And the other thing is just going out and talking to the public. We've had various occasions when we've had all the emergency vehicles and the public come and talk, the children can climb on board ambulances. And I've got the opportunity to talk to anybody and everybody that I can about what governors do, what they want to know about the ambulance service, and really welcome them to understand it.
Oh, that's lovely. Brilliant. And maybe if you could talk a little bit around what people could get from being a governor. So given all the time and energy and commitment that you've put into the service through your role as governor, what would be some of the things that people could maybe also get from it?
Well, I think being a governor, to get the maximum benefit, you really have to put in quite a lot. You get out what you put in, I would say. So if you are prepared to commit to reading all the papers, for example, so that you understand what's going on in the meetings, so that you can ask sensible, relevant questions, challenging questions, by all means, that's what we're there for. But to do that, you have to be self-informed. And you have to put the effort into going to meetings, having ideas, thinking about who in your community you could engage with, what value you can add. But I think, if you expect things just to come to you, you won't gain as much benefit as if you throw yourself wholeheartedly into the role.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you. And can I ask, so given you've been 2 terms, have you enjoyed your time at South Central Ambulance Service?
Enormously, enormously. I mean, one of the greatest privileges we have as governors is to be able to go out on ride-outs in the emergency ambulances. That's exciting, a bit frightening. You have to make sure that you keep out of their way when they're seeing patients, but most families are actually quite happy to accept you as an observer. The other thing I've really enjoyed is listening to call takers, both the 999 and the 111 calls, and understanding how difficult it is to understand what people have wrong with them in their distress, and how well the call takers try and sort that out.
Yeah, that's inspiring, isn't it? It's amazing the roles that people do, and and their compassion and empathy when they do. It's
Exactly. Watching paramedics work in highly stressful situations in people's home with poor lighting and, a family obviously in distress is amazing. I always feel honoured and humbled by their work. You get out what you put in. And I think that's the main thing. And it's noticeable that those governors who seem to enjoy it the most and to be most enthusiastic are those that put in more effort. So if you volunteer ideas, if you come up with suggestions, if you have a wide network of contacts, if you attend all the meetings, then I think you'll enjoy the role very much.
wonderful. No, that's brilliant. Yes, well, you're an inspiration to the rest of the governors. So it's wonderful that you've been able to take the time and do this conversation today. We really appreciate it, and all the hard work and effort and all the ideas that you've given as well over the many meetings that we've had. It's been really great to work with you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Helen. That's very kind.